Welcome to another episode of CricChat with Baaz. Today I have one of the most amazing fielders of indoor cricket that I have seen, and a very good batsman in outdoor cricket as well. I've had the honor of playing with and against him. Not many matches, but yes, quite a few bit. My fair share of matches with him. He is one of the most talented cricketers that I know in my cricketing circle, and most of the people who are going to watch this video will definitely vouch for it. Vinu Ramachandran, please welcome to the show of CricChat with Baaz.
Thank you, Shabazz. Pleasure to be here, man. Good to catch up after a long time.
Absolutely, it's been a very, very long time. So that's the whole, recurring theme in my my videos. Most of the friends that I have called on and who have been kind enough to give me their time are the ones that I haven't been in touch with for almost like 4 years, 5 years, some of them almost 10 years. But it's been very kind and gracious of them, and humbling for me that with just one or two messages and just a few exchanges, they agreed to come on the chat and do this whole thing with me. So you're one of those as well. So thank you so much for doing this, firstly.
Thank you, man. You don't have to be formal, man. We know each other for a long time. It's not necessary you need to text every day, but all of us know each other. One message is enough for everyone to get together. So I'm happy to be here.
Great. I was actually hoping to get a couple of your teammates like Giri and Kitty as well, but I guess life is keeping them a little busy, so they haven't responded well. But I guess I'll get hold of them sooner rather than later.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are a lot of guys. Could be various reasons. I think everyone is stuck in their own world at the moment. The world is going crazy. Yes. So it's you know how it is. So yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to get hold of them. If you're not able to, let me know. I'll push them from here.
Absolutely. I know you're my man over there. I've been after Satej as well, and imagine Satej not being able to give me time. That is something that I can't get my head around. But I hope
it would have been fun if Satej and all the rest of the guys would have been together. Would have been. I think you should think about a group call next time.
I will
probably get some 3 or 4 guys so that.
Absolutely. The only reason I'm not doing group calls right now is because my particular internet is not that great. I will be having my internet connection set up in probably a week's time from now. So once that happens, I don't have any excuses. I'll be getting all this gang together. Each and every different teams that I have interacted with, I want to get maybe 2 or 3 of them. Maybe let them just get a Royal Rumble sort of experience out of it.
I would say Royal Roast. It'll be good to roast each other. We know who all speaks the truth, during such calls.
Yeah, that's got to be some epic thing. So that's good. Firstly, thank you so much for doing this and bringing this topic on. So since we get your interview out of the way, we can obviously have you as a co-host when the other guys are there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's move on to the topic at hand, that is you. We want to know exactly where and how did Vinu Ramachandran get the bug of cricket?
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I was born here in UAE itself. And, I've studied in our own English high school, and my cricketing started when I was part of the Indian Social Center here. So there were different camps that were involved in sports activities. So I was initially put into football. I love football. Many people don't know, but, I used to be a football player a long time back. So football is my number one game. And sadly, I was put into cricket as well. And while I was in the cricket camp, there was this gentleman who was coaching us called Umar Khayyam. He was an Alain. He was an old chap, very passionate about cricket. So he had a camp of 20 guys, and out of the 20, he shortlisted 10. And out of those 10, I was there, and he felt I had the passion for the game, and probably I was, good in front of his eyes. And then slowly he told me to get away from football and continue with cricket. And I think that is the first step of my life where I actually got into cricket, where I think it was probably when I was in, 7th or 8th grade. That was when it got serious. Then I started seeing myself evolving in the game. I was passionate. So even after the coaching camps, I used to go home. We used to play inside the home, look on the batting positions, look at the TV, idolize a few of your players. And I think that's how the whole craze came in. And then eventually that grew me in playing a senior league in Alain at that time. So I was part of the Al-Farah group senior team, cement cricket. I got thrown into the into the cricket field, I think probably by ninth, I think just before I reached 10th grade. And then ever since, it never stopped. And then I was part of the school. I was the school captain. I was leading, our friends in school tournaments. And then obviously we had some success over the years. All of us have some success over the years.
Absolutely.
So those were those glorious days. And then slowly I started loving the game, and then it never stopped. So the whole thing was one decision made by, I would say, my mentor, Mr. Umar Khayyam. I mean, he's no more, God bless his soul, but I think he's the one who actually made me love the game, and it's been passionate ever since. So that's where it all started.
Good. So it's very paramount, that there has to be one mentor, no matter what kind of support it is coming in. But a mentor, a right mentor, actually plays a huge part in whatever we choose to do in our life. Be it work or be it sports, be it general the way we lead our lives as well. So I mean, yeah, that's a great testament to your coach, your mentor, because I've seen you play your cricket and it's fair and square, out there, aggressive in the field, but outside the field, it's always helping your opponents even, giving them tips and having a chat, friendly chat, maybe going for a couple of drinks and there. It's been a pleasure, being on your side as well as an opponent side, and also umpiring your games as well. It's been a pleasure to do that. I wouldn't get to say that about a lot of players.
No, I think I'm from that school of thought where it's a team game, and you play for your teammates and for your friends, and the winning together actually matters a lot. I mean, I'm probably saying this because I had the opportunity to captain few teams till now, and I'm not saying I'm a great leader, but then probably that instinct to win each and every game makes you believe, in your passion, and that takes you, more and more deeply into the game. So, I mean, there was an instance where I was only breathing cricket when I started. I told you, as I started from school, and I was shortlisted for UAE under 15 back then. At this, I'm talking about 15, probably 20 years back. And I had an opportunity to go to England to play county representing UAE, but then being parents said sports will come and go. What is going to happen to your studies? So. And that is again one decision in my life which I accept, because I believe it's good to have sports as part of your life for those who probably think they can't make it big. So I knew how much ever you play, you're not going to make it big, right? You're not going to play for India, for example. But I think it's good to have that in your blood, because it brings a lot of discipline, punctuality, network of people, good people, bad people. It builds a lot of character within you. So I am from that school of thought. So which is one of the reasons where you might have found it very easy to umpire against me. But we do sledge. But
I know that. I've definitely been part of, or rather at the receiving end of some beautiful sledges from your team as well. But at the same time, I've been lucky enough to be mostly out of the match and umpiring your matches. So for me, I consider myself lucky to be on the neutral side, so to speak. Okay, moving on from the initial part of your life to the more more corporate side, the work side of your life. When you started working, how difficult was it to find time and to find time to play the game that you love? And just tell us about the whole thing.
Well, man, there are a lot of stories to it. Absolutely, a lot of stories to it. So before I come to work life, so what happened after I left school? I went to college. So I did my engineering in Ranchi. So I was at a BIT in Ranchi, and I never got to play for the university team till my last year.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, because it's college politics, and you need to know the captain to get into the team, blah blah blah. So I was heavily into football all 4 years, and my final year, one of my close friends became captain, and that's when I decided, I'll give it a shot. And I was in the university team. We played E-Zone from Ranchi. I was part of Chetan Devraj tournament. There were a lot of tournaments that we were part of. Once after college, when I came back to Dubai again to work, I didn't have that much of interest to play, because I was like, in college you had a 3 years gap, but you played the final year. But football was, constant. So I decided to continue with football. But when I joined Seven Seas Computers, that was my first job in Dubai. I met this guy, amazing guy, Mohammed Raif. So he already had a corporate tournament, and he was the guy who was organizing teams and everything. And then he put out a circular on the notice board saying that, guys, are you interested? I mean, if anyone is interested, come for nets. Let's form a team, get into corporate tournaments. Uh, I gave it a shot. I was there, and that's how it started coming into my life back when working for corporates. So with corporate life, it was pretty easy when you were single, uh, because the games happen over the weekends. You don't have commitments. Even if you have girlfriends, you still can make time later. But once you're passionate about the sport, I think it was very easy because you look forward for the weekend. So it was not hectic. It is not that it's something that it's a liability or you're tired to do. You actually look forward for Fridays to come in where you can go and have a game. So it was very easy, but there are a lot of stories associated to it in terms of craziness. I'm sure you are aware, in initial days, like probably 14, 15 years back, tournaments used to happen in Zabil.
Yeah.
In Zabil Park.
Yeah.
So they had a marble pitch, and it's greenery around. So there were days when we used to play morning in Zabil, afternoon in Ajman, and evening in Date. And morning we straight away go to Karama. We have a game there. Then I'm sure a lot of people will be able to relate this, who have been in this country for ages. There were days where you used to play 2 matches, 3 matches, and there are days where you had a late Ramadan match or a late night tournament match. You sleep in your car near the petrol station, and you just wake up in the car to go for your next match at 6:30 or 7 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
I've done all this, and a lot of guys who have done with me as well. We used to just park our cars at the petrol station for the love of the game. All this was good till you were single. Once you get married, obviously you can't run around the whole day playing games. So slowly things started changing. So initially we had this team called Dubai Strikers, where Mohammad Raif and myself, we were the guys who actually built the team. And then we played for years. We just collected players whom we knew, whom we had some connect with, because it was more of being competitive is one, but to play with a bunch of guys whom you trust and you have fun, and that was different. So that is why we always stood out, win it or lose. We had our glorious moments. We had a few tournaments in our bag. We lost many, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the game, we have a laugh. We roast each other. We catch up once in a while. It's just that the passion goes on. So, yeah. So to answer your question, corporate life initially was good because we used to run around and play all tournaments. But slowly, once you get married, obviously things change, but game still goes on. But the only thing is, the number of games you play have probably come down.
Absolutely. So I do relate to what you have said. Being a Dubai-born kid myself, playing, starting with the tape balls and then going to the regular season ball, hard ball cricket, playing with all these Pakistani Pathan guys, Punjabi guys who just smack the ball into stratosphere, and then playing with a lot of our regional Indian players as well, and then Sri Lankans, Bangladeshis, Australians, Americans, rather the New Zealanders, Britishers, different culture that you get to play with. Dubai is something that is a melting pot of cultures. So you get to play that, those kind of matches in cricket as well. I'm sure you've experienced that. But my question is relating to what you said, earlier, sleeping in the car and going to your next match on the next morning. So what is the longest continuous stretch of matches that you've had? Like, what's the longest streak in a weekend rather? Like 4, 5, 6 matches you've played in a weekend. How's it? What's it been?
See, the number of matches I would say is within 24 hours is 3 games, all 2020s. But the longest stretch that we've been out is probably, I clearly remember there was this corporate tournament in Zabil in the afternoon. And then we had a night match in Ajman, which got delayed. And the match got over at like 2 or 3 in the morning. And we had a next game at 7 in the morning. So we left, let's say that we left home probably by 12 noon and got 27 hours, 28 hours.
Wow.
It was the longest, and with 3 hours of sleep in between.
Yeah.
It was commitment, to be honest. It is not that you're doing it because you're crazy, but it's like you want to play. And unfortunately, the second game got delayed, and it didn't make sense. Most of the guys live in Dubai, right? So it doesn't make sense to drive back to Dubai and come back to Ajman again. But again, those were like cement cricket days, but things have changed for me in the last 3-4 years where I've left cement and indoor completely. Indoor was something which was another part of my life. And definitely I have like a lot of memories for indoor cricket as well. I mean, absolutely cannot forget.
So, when and how did you start, playing indoor cricket? How did that come about?
It's another crazy story, man.
Please,
So
we are
you know
here for the
Terry
crazy
and
ones.
Titi,
We
right?
don't want normal stories. We want crazy ones. That's why this whole chat is all about, to get to know the crazy part.
Uh, okay, I'm not naming the tournament name. So there was a tournament, a new tournament starting in indoor, and they wanted specific people from specific states playing in that tournament. So let's say if it's a tournament called India, and people from Delhi only should play for Delhi team, Mumbai, etc.
Okay, okay.
So it was a different sort of a tournament. I can't name the tournament. And Terry and Titi, two of my close friends, they said, guys, this tournament is going to happen. So do you want to play? I said, I don't belong to that specific district or state. And he's like, don't worry, we'll just forge, we'll just take a passport copy, just do a whiting, change the name,
Oh
and
my God!
photocopy it
Don't
again and
don't
give it
don't
back.
tell me the name of the person who said this to you, please.
Yeah, no, it's done, man. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's a small tournament. No one
Yeah.
cares. But it's the fun of getting in, and everyone knows about it now. So it doesn't matter. So that's how I came into indoor. So they're like, okay, you know what? Okay, he's in. He's from there. So I had to pretend that I was from there, and it was not only me, right? Every guy in that bloody team, except for two or three, were from different parts of the world. And that's how the indoor cricket started. But indoor cricket was more fascinating because it was in a closed sort of a room, right? I mean, it's much different than outdoor. Rules were different. Your batting had to change because outdoors you're more used to front foot, but indoors you have to come back foot, punch, run. So this was a little new. It was a little bit, I would say, it was very difficult. I mean, indoor cricket is probably the only place where I've always been nervous when I went to bat.
Oh yeah,
Honest
same here,
confession.
same here,
Outdoor,
same here.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah, same
But
here.
indoor is something which I was always nervous. But I think one thing that helped me with indoor cricket was fielding. It made me more flexible, and it made the accuracy of my throws pretty good, and it actually helped in outdoor cricket as well. But obviously you can't dive much, but it made me more flexible, and
No,
there
I
were a lot of
remember
memories.
one of the most agile and one of the the people who used to dive a lot and get those crazy wacky catches of the sevens, the return catches, diving here and there, getting those throws in as well. And your major part you fielded in the cover, the 3 point region, if I'm not wrong. But
Yeah,
once in a while when you were in the back as well, I've noticed that it was a great thing, and your bowling as well. I mean, it's not a joke to come and bowl those the way you used to bowl. That was good as well. It was a good fun part, right? I mean, what is the name of your team, if you can remember?
we were called friends initially, and then we moved from friends to amigos.
You went from an Indian spicy name to a Spanish spicy name.
Yeah, I mean it was friends, but then amigos is friends as well, so it
Yeah.
just changed to amigos. So and with amigos, I think we had the biggest success in indoors. I think we were the only ones to beat Danube at their prime. One game we beat them with. I still have the ball signed by all the Danube players and the score written on it. I think we beat Petroman at that time with 7 players. Again, this
Oh,
I'm talking about years back, right? Some 7, 8 years back.
yeah.
So those were our prime days. But then what happened initially is we couldn't match up outdoor and indoor. So we slowly stopped indoor, and then we completely moved to outdoor. But
Okay.
there's still few players who still play indoor. So Girish still plays. I think the rest of the guys, Titi, Terry, they also play once in a while.
Okay. What about Rakesh Bhai?
I think Rajesh Bhai also still there. I think there was a time when he used to lead and play, but I think with time, probably people are passionate but not able to play. They're still leading a team. But to be honest with you, I've absolutely no idea what is happening there. I mean, I've left it. I've never seen uh, indoor for probably, I don't know, 3, 4 years now. I've
Oh
completely
wow.
left it.
So
Yeah.
that's okay. That's part and parcel of
I mean,
life,
it's
I
not.
guess. Sometimes you keep continuing, sometimes you move on to better things. And I'm sure, I mean, your outdoor cricket might be going on still. So how and where are you
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
outdoor
I
cricket
mean,
now?
the reason of cutting off indoor is not because of losing interest. It's. I told you, once you get married, you can't play over the week. You wait for the weekend. You have when both of you are working and your child is there. it becomes a little bit difficult.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely. I'm sure
you pick your passion and then
you,
you take
you,
one for
you are
month
one of
again.
those guys who actually made that decision wisely. But I know a lot of my friends who still, after being married for quite a few years, still somehow or the other manage to squeeze out, getting some of the other stories to their better halves, and just running out and playing those matches and then coming back. I have stories of guys who've kept their kid bags and clothes at their friend's house, okay, so that they can say, I'm going to office for some project work, and they used to take the kid bags and clothes from the friend house and say, let's go. They go for 4 hours, play that match and come back. He'll wash, shower at his friend's house again, get dressed in his formals and come back home. Like, I'm done with the project now. Let's go out somewhere for a restaurant or something. So there are guys who have
I'm
done
absolutely
that.
aware. I have one friend who does exactly the same. I'm not going to name him. So
Oh
he
yeah.
says he's got a meeting in Abu Dhabi. He goes out of the house with suit and tie and everything. And the moment he reaches the petrol station, changes into his cricket kit. Then on
Oh
the way
yeah.
back, he'll shower wherever he wants to shower, and he'll come back home in the same suit and the tie, with a little bit of sweat, so that he jogs before he just gets home. Ah man, it's crazy. I mean, for me, I believe, especially, I would say family comes first. So I need to spend time with them. It's personal to personal things. How each
Absolutely.
person feels.
Absolutely.
So I'm not getting my game affected. So I get to play every weekend, and during the week I stay with them. So it's a fair deal.
Fair deal, definitely fair deal. So long as you get your cricket fix in, what else matters, right? So family comes first always. Now,
Yeah, absolutely.
moving to a little bit more fun part, I want to put you in the spot right now, the hot seat as they call it. So I want you to name, I'm going to give you some adjectives, and I want you to name a few players that come right on top of your head. They just pop out immediately. And I want you to name them very honestly. They are the players that you have played with over the course of your complete cricketing journey. Indoor, outdoor, no matter what, okay?
Okay.
If you want to name one for
Okay.
indoor, one for outdoor, up to you. Your wish.
I'll go with one. I'll go with one.
Okay, good. So let's go. The most wacky one.
Most wacky one.
The wackiest one, yeah.
Terry.
Okay. The most aggressive one.
Pradeep.
Okay. The most fun to be around.
Titi.
And the most pain to be around.
The most pain to be around.
Yeah.
Titi again. Titi. I hate that guy and I love that guy.
Oh my God. Why so? I would like to know this. I'm planning to get him on, on one of the next ones, so I can ask him. I can show this to him, and I can ask him.
You know why I hate and love him? Because he's the only guy who'll sledge his own team during the game.
I mean, see, I'm a wicket keeper. I know what he goes through, and we are the same. We do understand that part.
No, see, undoubtedly, you guys are both are good keepers. Absolutely no problem. But with Titi, man, he is annoying. He is annoying. So if you're batting with him, you tell him something, he doesn't listen, and you expect to listen to him, and all the more, he'll start sledging you. So you don't care when the other people sledge, you're fine. But when this guy starts sledging your own teammates, it's a pain. But he's a fun guy, he's a fun guy, but he's such a pain. He knows it. I mean, I can openly tell it. You can publish this,
Okay.
He knows that I hate him. So it's
Right.
okay.
The next one I have is the most serious one. You will not get a word out of him.
Oh, most serious one. Man, it's a difficult. I've not come across anyone who's serious. I mean, because all the teams that we choose, we choose our own guys to play with. I don't think anyone is serious. Everyone is like crazy and fun. I don't think there's anyone serious as such, who's quiet or anything. Otherwise I would have never played with them in the same team. So I'm honestly here. I don't know anyone who's serious one. We don't have any cha-cha guys, because all of our guys are the guys whom we have been with together. We play together, we joke together, we party together. Everyone is extrovert. It's not like someone is shy or doesn't open. I don't know anyone serious one, but if you ask me a little more aggressive in terms of seriousness, then I would say Sylvester.
Okay. Sylvester is, I
He's a
don't recall.
pilot, so and he's very aggressive. Sylvester Vijay, I don't think you've met him because he doesn't play indoor, but he's a very good outdoor player.
Okay.
He's from Tamil Nadu, but very aggressive player. Uh, Very aggressive, and he's very serious when it comes to games, but serious in a nice way, but
Okay.
not like he doesn't move on. So
Okay.
there are a lot of memories with him. I'll see if I can get a call of him because there was a match I still remember. He sledged, and it was against a Pakistani team back then in Ajman. And the guys came out from the ground. There was nearly a fist fight, and they broke his chain as well. It was
Oh,
very serious. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have all these things while you play. So when you look down, there are a lot of memories to share. And this I'm talking about is like probably, I don't know, maybe 8-9 years back. So it's not something which is very recent, right? But uh, and I still remember about it. So because it was an epic game. Yeah.
great. Okay, so now we've done this bit of adjectives, the vacuum ones, the good ones as well. I want you to name the best team apart from your team, the best team that you feel that you ever played against.
Indoor would definitely be Danube at that time. Definitely. I mean, you also know they were just way out of everyone's league. I think they were very close to uh, in competitive spirit against Petroman and things like that. Outdoor, throughout the phases of our life, like we've been playing here for like close to 15 years, and each phase we used to come out with very good teams. So once upon a time there was Dubai Stallions, which was a great team. Then we had
Really?
Futain, Toyota. So Futain, there are two teams, Honda and Toyota.
Now,
Then there was Cool and Cool CC. Then there was Afridi CC.
after this season.
Man, there were so many teams. It all depends on. I would say at that point of time, it all depends on that particular day. But in good spirit, all these teams were okay. Sledging goes here and there, but that doesn't matter. But these are some of the teams back then, and all of this were in cement at that time. But now, if you look at it, even cricket has evolved a lot. We have moved to turf, so we are playing the Dubai Super League, which is there in
Wow.
sevens, and in Wombats cricket ground.
Wombats are very
Sometimes you
good,
get
yes.
games in ICC, and sometimes you get games in ICC as well. And this is a league that starts by September and goes on till April. So you have different divisions, Premier, Elite, and etc. So last year we won Elite. This year
Uh,
it's still going on, but we are not having a good season. We did some restructuring within the team, but it's still fun to play. So the teams that have now that we are playing against, there's Abu Dhabi Gentlemen's Club. There's again Cool and Cool CC. There are a lot of good teams, But if I have to pick up the proper competitive cricket, that would still be about 8-9 years back on those cement pitches with Golden Tower, Futain Toyota, the
yes, definitely,
Phonetics
definitely,
at that
definitely.
time.
Yeah. Seven Seas was a very good team as well. So, right now, which team? What's the name of your team that you play for?
So right now I play for a team called Whitecaps. So again,
Whitecaps.
we are a mixture of friends again,
Is
but it's
this?
completely different from my past. No one from Dubai Strikers play with me, but it's a different set of friends. So the team is managed by a guy called Akif. Again, it's the same sort of fun. So you have match every weekend. It's a 25 overs turf
Wow.
tournament. Beautiful game, beautiful facility. So it is in sevens and in wombats, and then there are some tournaments in between, short tournaments where you get to play in ICC as well.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, we are playing only DSL. So I'm playing only DSL, one tournament every year, which starts in September and ends around April the following year.
That's good enough.
So you get a game every Friday. You get a game every Friday. You don't have to drive till Ajman and other places and away from cement. So it's a good feeling to play on turf.
So moving on to the last part of the show, I generally ask these questions to my friends. When they come and chat with me, is about couple or maybe two or three memories that they want to share with us that are something that they will never forget.
It's pretty easy. The first one would be beating Danube in indoor when they were at their peak. So they were the number one team in UAE. Everyone who played against them lost. We were like rookies, just friends. We were not that great. We just got into indoors and we got to beat them. And then winning B Division one of the years. So that is the biggest indoor memory I have. And that's one of the reasons why I have that ball still with me, signed with a score, an exact score and everything on that. So indoor, that was my biggest memory. In outdoor, the biggest memory is Dubai Strikers. It is very close to my heart. It's a team which I formed, obviously co-formed with Raif. We had a lot of successful seasons. I think one of the key things why it is still memorable is we were a family. It was not a team comprised of egos and all those things that happen in a normal team. Why didn't I get a bat? Why didn't I get a ball? There were people who were happy to come in the morning and just field for 20 overs and go. Even if they don't get to play. There were instances where even I didn't bat sometimes. Even being the captain, I could have taken the liberty to do whatever I want. We were a family, so that's the biggest thing that has happened to me. But over the years, obviously, people move on. People have priorities. People start playing different teams, and some people relocate, and so it slowly died down. But that Dubai Strikers will always be in my heart. I think at some point, maybe going forward, before we call it quits, we'll probably take part with all the oldies, coming now that we have aged as well. Probably we'll form a team and play competitive cricket again. So that is my second biggest memory from outdoor. But overall, I think the biggest thing that I can carry forward from cricketing fraternity is the friends that you have met and who have stayed on, which includes you, Shahbaz, by the way. So guys whom we generally meet through sports and who've played competitive cricket, who sees sport as a discipline in their life. I think with those mindset of people, we get along very well. Winning and losing is not everything, to be honest. I mean, at some age, you play for the passion of the game. You are competitive. It hurts when you lose, which is fine. But at the end of the day, it's to come out with character. And when you come out, you have a lot of people around you with the same character, which is always a big memory to us. I mean, we are in touch. There are a lot of guys whom we don't see each other, like with you, Shahbaz. I've not seen you for donkey's years, right? But
Absolutely.
it feels that we just had a conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's how it is with the guys whom you play, and when you have the same journey. So yeah, these are the three biggest things. So one is outdoor Dubai Strikers, indoor beating Danube. We hated them and we wanted to beat them. And three is obviously having a lot of friends, in the same fraternity where you can reach out to.
I believe I remember this defeat by your hands to Danube, because during those times, it was obviously Danube whenever they were playing. We used to come and watch the matches. We try and wrap up our matches, so we come and watch their matches as well as soon as possible, so we can learn. Major part was to learn a lot of things from them as well. But the most irritating aspect of their continuous success was the continuous win, and no matter what situation, they were negative. They were negative 15 against Petroman. When Petroman was a new team, newly established team, they were minus 15 and they beat Petroman with minus 20 or something. No matter how bad the situation was, they just found something or the other and they just managed to come as victorious team at the end of it, and which was a good learning experience for someone like me as well. I was like, agar thoda sa, when we now lose like 1 or 2 wickets, you're negative 5, negative 10 sometimes. Sometimes you tend to throw away the match. You're like, okay, fine, it's gone now. We can't win this match. But that was not the thing with the new team of those days. They used to fight it out.
Yeah, you remember UA Exchange as well at that time? They were also at that peak.
UA Exchange.
UA Exchange. Yeah. Slowly UA Exchange. So I had a memorable ball from them as well. So I don't know if you can see it. So this is the InSports one. So this is 9/11/2013.
Wow.
So they wrapped up us in -1 and we got them in -40.
I was just exporting Rakesh's video in the background and while we are chatting. So Rakesh's video will be posted probably by tomorrow prior to lunchtime. And then we'll have yours coming in later tomorrow night, hopefully. So yeah, things are there. I mean, I'm getting with these guys. So I understand. We were talking about a lot of things about these aspects as well. So your memories that you mentioned about the three aspects of cricket that you take away. It's been great to know that. And, also what you mentioned is about friends and connecting with people and, meeting them after a long time, but still, catching and, just taking it off from where we last left. It's something that has always been a common factor with a lot of us. But thank you so much for, being patient with me with my network issues and also, giving me the time of the day for this meeting. It's been a great pleasure to, have these memories that we discussed. So, it's been a great pleasure for me to have you here with me, and it's been a good trip down memory lane. I hope you enjoyed the interview as well as much as I did. Any few thoughts about that show?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you should, once you get a stable network, please get 3 or 4 guys online when we are playing together. I think you should start a new channel on roasting people. I think it's going to be tremendous fun. Just get on guys who have played together and share their memories. I think we'll have a lot of inside secrets also that will come out.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that actually. As I said earlier, once my internet connection gets, once I get Wi-Fi'd, so to speak. Remember there was a team called Wi-Fi earlier.
Yeah, I know, man. They're all crazy team names, man. There was a team called Chicken Biryani also, so I can't
Yeah, I
complain.
know. They used to come with wacky names as well. So anyway, so once I get this Wi-Fi sorted, inshallah, we'll get the whole group, at least the core team members as well, of each and every team that I had the honor of interacting with. Thank you so much for your time. I really look forward to the next one, and wish you all the best, man. And give my love and regards to the little one.
Yeah, sure, man. Thank you, and thank you for having me as well. And love and regards to your family. Stay safe, and let's hope you get some positive news this weekend. Yeah, take care.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cheers. Bye bye.